Hey guys, my name is Miracle and I like to take complex ideas and simplify them to enhance your life.
I pay tribute to the scientists through my music.
This video today actually comes as kind of an emergency in my video topic queue. I actually had another video planned, but I had this huge revelation and I had to share it with you. The reason your relationship is falling apart, the reason for the loneliness epidemic in America, the reason for failing relationships today in our modern time. And this is a problem I've actually been working on for quite a few months now, the death of their relationship in modern times. I kept thinking that I had the solution for this, but then I just kept going down the rabbit hole. Like, I thought it was the 5 love languages at first. I'm like, yes, this is it. And then I thought it was like that one study done about the relationship of negative interactions a day to positive interactions in a relationship, which is like 5 to 1 or something like that. I thought that was the answer. But now I can say without a doubt that I finally figured it out. I figured out the root cause of failing relationships. You just need to understand this one concept and everything will be clear. And I'm talking about every relationship, not just your spouse, but coworker, friend, fan, sibling, platonic, romantic. Have you noticed all the toxic and failing relationships around lately? The decline of like real authentic, deep connection. And maybe you haven't. Maybe you're just surrounded with lots of loving, healthy relationships. But maybe you've wondered why people fall out of love. Because it's a pretty crazy thing. Like, you love this person to death at one point in the beginning. And then a couple years down the road, you want this person to die. Like, what? The answer is actually much more simple than all those studies and theories. All right, so here we go. If you think of the human body simply as a robot that goes through chemical reactions in order to function on a daily basis, these chemical reactions are triggered by your environment. So let's say robot body needs to wake up. The sun triggers a wake up chemical that douses your insides, causing all the appropriate functions to wake up. And this chemical is serotonin. Your body needs to sleep, so the moon triggers sleep chemical, melatonin. A tiger triggers run or fight chemical. This douses your body with epinephrine or adrenaline, which causes your heart rate to go faster, blood pumps to all the muscles, all the necessary functions to run or fight. Now let's get a little bit more complex, but all the same concept, right? The body wants you to repeat a certain behavior because this behavior is good for the body, good for survival. Maybe eating good food. So the keep doing this chemical is released, and that is dopamine. Now, humans are social creatures. We are apex predators because of our intelligence and our communal nature. Through evolution, we have found the most beneficial and efficient design is for us to work together, be social. We are highly intelligent, but not physically the toughest. So we utilize relationships to thrive as a species. Tribal groups. Now, there is a chemical that is released by other people, a social chemical. And you've probably heard of this, but today it's relatively mysterious to scientists still. Oxytocin. Let's say your robot body needs to trust a tribe member. That person triggers in you the trust and bond chemical. This person is cool chemical. This is a chemical that lets you bond with your pack and avoid dangerous strangers because they want to eat your babies. So I watched this show on Animal Planet a super long time ago about meerkats. This guy was observing them, and what he did was he watched them constantly, I want to say daily, and he watched from afar at first, slowly decreasing his distance between him and the meerkat family. And what happened was amazing. Eventually, after like some months, he was able to just chill among the meerkats like they accepted him into their pack. And these meerkats They were crawling all over him. So these meerkats were crawling all over him, jumping, playing. He accepted them as much as they accepted him. They were family. They were completely bonded to this man just because he had made himself familiar to them. He had earned their trust. And this is the effect of oxytocin. This is the effect of oxytocin. This is the thing in our brain that says this big predator thing is not a threat. Growing up, I loved playing The Sims. Well, I actually just I used cheat codes and just built these crazy huge mansions. But sometimes I played the actual game. And if you're not familiar with Sims, you have the Sim character that you have to take care of, right? They have these happiness bars in different categories, and you have to keep the bars sufficient. So for example, they have a hunger bar, right? And if the bar gets depleted, then the Sim needs to eat. And the Sims are just people living basic human lives. That's it. There's no gimmick. They're just living human lives. So they fall in love and have babies, right? When two Sims get together, you can see their interactions. And if they start liking each other, little hearts will pop up. And their relationship fluctuates depending on what they do and say to each other. When I had my revelation about oxytocin, I was like, everything makes sense. Everything makes sense. Oh my God, it totally. If you think about any of your relationships as simply a release of oxytocin in a Sims bar, you can see exactly how your relationship dropped off or thrived. This is the reason for the loneliness epidemic. This can help you with your children. This is the reason for dead bedrooms. This can help you with your crippling social anxiety. It makes sense because we're in a time where it's all about phones now. Back in the day, everybody would go outside and play. Play was a big thing, and that is a huge oxytocin builder. Being in the actual physical vicinity of a person. My own relationship, for example, sorry, honey, it was fantastic in the beginning because it always is. We were doing all the things that release oxytocin and build bonds. That's what you do in the beginning. One thing that releases oxytocin is doing something adrenaline pumping with someone else. And at the beginning of our relationship, we went to his brother's wedding in Jamaica and walked up a waterfall. Fantastic experience. And there was this one point where the guide said that the course splits off now and there's an easy side and a very challenging side. So you can pick whichever one and we'll meet on the other side. And so we look at each other and say, duh, the challenging side, of course. And it was horrible. It was gallons and gallons of water rushing at you per second. You can't see. All you can hear is roar of water. You don't know if there are reptiles around you. You can't find the rock that you're supposed to be climbing on the wall. You can't. It was horrible. You don't know where you're supposed to grab. You don't know where you're supposed to put your feet. You're just blindly climbing up. And oh my God, that wasn't even the worst of it. So my man is this big hunking square rock of a man, and he went up first and he blocked most of the water while he was helping other people up. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff we did in the beginning. But now, 2019, however many years later, we don't climb waterfalls anymore. We don't ride motorcycles anymore. We live our normal little settled home life with our little baby. Pretty basic. But I don't believe it's too late to save a relationship if you understand oxytocin. Be creative and think of all the things that release oxytocin. There are many, many different ways to bond. I don't want this video to be too long. I want it to be pretty simple and understandable. So I'll actually do a part 2 on ways of releasing oxytocin. Breastfeeding releases oxytocin, so moms and their babies have concrete bonds, obviously. That's where this comes from. And this is why dads typically feel unloved after a baby is born. Mom and baby are getting all that good oxytocin, and dad is just off to the side. but he needs it too. Genuinely asking someone about their day releases it, connecting with them on a deeper level, looking them in the eye and saying, oh my God, that's great. Wow. You know, really, really taking in, really actively listening, taking in what they're talking about, what they're unloading on you, anything, whatever they're saying. Being passive aggressive about leaving all your damn socks all over the living room, that depletes oxytocin. And doing stuff like that over the span of a couple of years erodes a relationship. Simple, right? Oxytocin is very, very powerful stuff. It's a huge stress reducer, confidence booster. Today was just an understanding oxytocin video, but we'll continue on this because this is a very important concept to know. All right. Thanks for your time. Go out and oxytocin it up today.